Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 24 of Our Time Is Now. Wrestling with Time number 8. Hitting them with the 4 horsemen on both hands, kid. Figure
4
8 leg
horsemen,
lock.
more like fortune.
But what's going on with you, man? We were talking some shit the other day that we were going to start off the show with like a little bit of an update news segment before jumping into our topic of the day, Wrestlemania 19.
That is right. So there's some big headlines in the news this week. Will Vince be selling the WWE?
Dude, it's crazy.
Will live matches be able to drive crowds? And there's a rumor that John Cena will be back for SummerSlam. And this is the news.
Nah, bro.
First topic we're going to get into John Cena possibly coming back for SummerSlam. There's a lot of reports coming out from everybody that he's wrapping up his filming in Canada, shooting the movie for Fast and Furious 9 and the TV show. And there's rumors that he will be wrestling at SummerSlam in a couple of months.
An advertisement came on yesterday and it said, I guess that's not Granny Shifting or some shit. And I was like, motherfuckers use that in Fast 9, bro. That's from the OG.
How about this?
After me
How about this? Y'all made 9 movies. The last 6 sucked.
Bro, the first one,
the last
nothing
six
beats
sucked.
the first one to me, bro. The first one was about original swap meets, women, the music, the cars.
The first 3 were the best movies that they made, and then they got carried on
They tried
and
to turn
carried
into
on
James
and
Bond,
carried
bro.
on.
They turned into like James Bond
Well,
movies,
you know, they said that about Star Wars. They were like, oh, well, you know, Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas, and they have like 6 movies that they have planned. It was like, let's say this. Episode 7 sucked.
Yeah.
Episode 8 actually wasn't that bad. Episode 9, the ending was great. That was it.
What are you going to do, kid? I mean, we're not in the director's chair, so it's not our say. Someone's making a shitload of money somewhere off of all these projects, so salute to whoever the fuck that is.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. This is what happens when you're in a capitalistic world and economy. You can make money no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, John Cena coming back after that apology, kid. Whew. WWE, I was seeing articles that WWE wasn't too happy. You know.
No, to be totally honest, WWE really doesn't like doing business with China.
Yeah.
They don't, because I remember the last time I think they were in China. I think it was in like 2008 or 9. They did a live television show. It was like tape delay, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll be going to China anytime soon. So
what's
and
this,
plus also
New Japan, bro. They're trying to set up an exclusive relationship with New Japan, or what's the deal with that, bro?
Well, there's a lot of news coming out on that. Pretty much the new guy who's in charge of live events and everything, his name is Nick Khan, not to be excused from Tony Khan.
Yeah, bro.
Nowhere part of the family.
I'm sure.
He has no relations.
They say that.
No, 100%. He is of no relation
He's
to
second
the
cousin,
Jacksonville
third
Jaguar
replaced,
family.
fourth married in, removed twice, and back in.
He is nowhere. Nick Khan is nowhere. Is no affiliation with the Jacksonville Jaguars owners. No affiliation whatsoever.
I mean,
so
it's weird because you said that to me that day, and we said this is what we were going to talk about, the opening segment about possible sale of WWE. Yesterday, I read an article, and I tweeted it, and I was like, Tree J, my co-host, was just telling me about this. Like, I just can't see the whole WWE Vince's prize baby leaving the McMahon helm slee. Get it? Horrible pun. The McMahon helm. I just don't see it happening. I always
well,
thought
let me
Helmsley
tell
would take
you,
over.
I don't want any part of the WWE. I want to turn NXT into an independent, something like that. Triple H. Vince is, well, going back to Nick Khan, they just fired a shit ton of wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're calling budget cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really happening is going to the last topic, as you just brought up, is Vince selling the company. Now, as reports look, the way that they're structuring the company, they're merging divisions and everything, they're leaving the Stanford building, they're going to somewhere else. It looks like that they will be selling the business, and it's going to either 3 companies. It looks like it's going to go to NBC Universal, which owns the USA Network, which they have been on since 2006, and Spike TV. Or they will be selling to Disney. Now, Disney has been buying up everything. Yeah. Everything. Oh. Disney owns 5 out of the 7 major news corporations in the United States.
I don't know, man. All I know is that didn't work out so well for WCW, which also brings me to our pay-per-view, which we're going to get into later. Triple H telling Booker T, you may have been a 5-time champ, Book, but it was with a joke of a company. And then King, I think, goes on to tell JR, well, you worked there, JR. How was it? Was it a joke? And he's like, absolutely, or some shit. And I was like, oh, see? So following in those footsteps might not be the best bet.
Well, the way that WWE is looking the way it is, 3 years ago, they talked about buying a new building. They want to get out of the Stanford building. They're building a new headquarters. They're going to sell Titan Tower building, and then they're moving into their new building, which should be operational by the end of this year.
Yeah. Now,
smaller buildings, smaller offices.
Didn't they just build that whole arena for like the home live tapings and shit though?
Thunderdome.
Yeah.
The Thunderdome. The Thunderdome was meant for the COVID-19 era because you couldn't have live shows.
Yeah.
So if you have the subscription to WWE Network or Peacock, whatever it is, $5.99 a month for Peacock if you get onto the WWE universe.
You can't
plug right there.
You can't beat it, bro.
No.
I mean, like I thought it was good when we first started doing these last year, bro. I thought it was great when we were plugging the joke. The WWE Network for $9.99. Well, everything's going up, folks. Gas prices are through the roof, so you could slash that bill in half with Peacock TV and get the WWE Network and all of its original content under the same roof for half the price. Go sign up. Thank me later, Peacock. Spread your wings.
And it's funny because guess who Peacock is owned by?
NBC.
NBC Universal.
I was just thinking about it last night. NBC's logo is a peacock, bro.
Vince has a very good relationship with NBC Universal. They used to host Saturday Night's Main Event in the in the 80s and everything on Channel 4, 5, whatever the channel was in your local neighborhood or state near you. You could watch Saturday Night's Main Event. That was on NBC.
Yeah.
They used to have other shows on NBC. It would be like Superstars on Tuesdays or whatever. Like it was like random events. They would all be held on the NBC channels. So it looks like they're more leaning towards selling to NBC only for the fact that Vince has a 30-year plus relationship with NBC.
Well, you're going to go where the money is. We all know Vinnie Mac goes where the money is.
Well, right now the company has this is the first time the company has actually been the most profitable it has ever been, even when they went public. WWE is now worth $1.3 billion.
So it's finally
when Vince opened it to the public, it was only worth $500 million.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I remember the Battle of the Millionaires, your boy Trump versus Vince, and I was like, but hold up. Vince is only a half a billionaire yet. I mean, the Battle of the Billionaires, rather. He's only half a billionaire. He wasn't quite full-fledged B yet.
Technically, Vince personally didn't become a billionaire until about CM Punk became the champion and had the big promo and everything, because CM Punk drew him a lot of money. He was white hot. He drew a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Yes, he was the current day Stone Cold, but without the beers and everything, just telling it like it is and fuck the boss.
Yeah.
So
that's fact.
When CM Punk was white hot, that merchandise was selling, tickets were selling, people wanted to see Punk. Even when he turned a bad guy, people wanted to see Punk. He generated money. That's how Vince personally became a billionaire because of CM Punk.
That's a pretty
Now,
good card
when
to
it
have
comes
on
to
the
the
table.
company, with all the deals that they do, with all the television
they're
deals,
multi-billion-dollar company
Saudi
for sure,
Arabia, and all this other stuff, when you really look at it, they are probably worth about shy about $1 million to $1 billion. Probably just shy. But if you round it all off, and including with the 30-plus superstars that they've released over the past 3 months, yeah, you're looking at about $1.3 billion worth for the company itself,
what do you think
not
the issue
Vince
is with
McMahon.
the releases, bro? What is the issue? Why are they releasing? Like Braun Strowman, bro. Like, what are you thinking releasing Braun Strowman?
Now, Braun Strowman, Lana, Aleister Black, and a couple of other people were just in current storylines. They were just in current storylines. Like Aleister Black was doing the Dark Father gimmick.
I'm thinking creative is smoking crack.
No, what's going on is that Bruce Pritchard is running, to my knowledge, he is running both Raw and SmackDown.
That's your boy, kid.
They're saving all of the good stuff for SmackDown. And over the past 3 years, SmackDown has become more better than Raw because they have the more star power. That's how it always used to be. All the great guys would be on SmackDown when Raw is technically the A show and it's got all the younger guys and everything. But meanwhile, all the veterans and everybody are on SmackDown. No, I want to watch SmackDown. I was always a Raw guy. I don't want to watch Raw.
Raw's always been Monday Night Raw, and I was always a Raw guy because it stayed constant. SmackDown, it was like Thursday night SmackDown, Friday night SmackDown, Tuesday night SmackDown, Thursday night SmackDown, Friday night SmackDown.
SmackDown was always taped.
Yeah, I know. It was
on Tuesdays.
Yeah, but then they played it on Thursday. But then it went live eventually Tuesday, and then
they did it for about 6 months. Then they started taping it again, putting it on Friday nights, and then around 2010 is where they started doing live SmackDown.
I remember
it was no longer taped; it was live on Friday.
Taker was always on SmackDown. There was a couple like SmackDown exclusive superstars.
SmackDown was pretty much Taker's home. SmackDown, he was the SmackDown's locker room leader from like 2004 to like when he pretty much like retired.
Yeah, Kane was Raw. Usually, I mean, he probably was on SmackDown, but he was more Raw. And then
Kane didn't come to SmackDown until about 2011 when he started feuding with Rey Mysterio.
I was gonna say Rey Mysterio was also a SmackDown.
Rey Mysterio was pretty much exclusively to SmackDown until 2000.
Who's that jumping out the sky? R.E.Y. Mysterio. Woo, here we go. That's going to get us into our first match, actually. Our good old boy, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Ray. But any other financial news in the world that we need to be going over?
Not really. I'll keep everybody up to date when it comes to it. As of right now, it's very quiet on the front. But they did say there's going to be more releases coming. So stay tuned for these releases because some of them might actually blow your mind. And when they leaked it, they said that the next 10 superstars that they were about to release are really going to shock the public.
Bro, it already shocked me with what they released now. I'm like, what are they doing? Going out of business? I'm like, I knew they had struggling problems with creative because as we discussed on previous shows, like you brought in Bischoff and Heyman again for a while. Bischoff, I don't even think I watched an episode where he was running it. It was like a month or two he was gone.
He didn't even run it. They used Eric Bischoff's star power to get the deal for Fox News with Fox.
Fucking, they fucked up.
Eric, and speaking of Eric Bischoff, he was just spotted at AEW last week.
I would love to see him work with AEW. That would totally bring me back.
AEW will not hire Eric Bischoff only for the fact that they know better.
Hey man, in other news, our boy Mark Henry just jumped ship. He's actually over at AEW. I couldn't be more happier than him.
My fucking mind, bro.
I tweeted it and I was like, congratulations, bro. Like, salute to you. Like, I love it, bro. I love like when someone who's been doing this their entire life is not at the end of their run yet, but you don't have them involved in a storyline or you're not using them correctly, bro, because you're trying to build new faces when this person still has so much left in the tank. Someone's going to utilize him, bro. Someone's going to pick up the ball and keep running with it. That's what he did. Salute to Mark on that, bro. Happy for him.
Congratulations, Mark. I've been a big fan of yours. And just to see you jump ship, You know, it's very good for you, but at the same time, it's making my suspicions come correct that AEW is going to be WWE light. Just like TNA was. Hey, just like TNA was from 2007 to 2011. I don't want to hear it.
What if AEW builds up, bro, and becomes the next WWE?
Hold on. AEW will be WWE light like TNA from 2007 to 2011. Example, Kurt Angle, Booker T, Kevin Nash. That is all.
Yeah, could be. I mean, Big Show's over there, though.
And wait a minute. Who's in AEW? Christian Cage, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks were in the WWE for a little while. They were in the developmental system, so I don't want to hear it. Sting is technically WCW. He was only in a year for WWE, so he don't count. Yeah, the Big Show,
the Horseman,
Kenny Omega. It might surprise a lot of you people. Kenny Omega was in the WWE developmental system from 04 to 06.
I'm sure, bro, because everybody wanted to be there. I mean, that was the place to be. WWE, it still probably is the place to be, but I mean, I just think...
And you want to know something? I'd rather watch Impact. They don't have a lot of WWE superstars, and if they do, it's only a few. It's only a few. Dude, like
I love
Andrade just came to AEW with Vicky Guerrero. Okay? So you want WWE light? You could go watch AEW because you're going to get 60% of the fired superstars over the past 3 years.
The problem I have,
Sean Spears.
By saying
Sean
light,
Spears
bro,
was Ty Dillinger.
I feel like it's more heavy, bro. They bleed still. They do shit that WWE can't do because they're a public company trying to play safe for the kids. Like, we haven't all seen worse
but
shit in video games and
WWE
movies.
is
We got
slow.
video games shooting. You're not going to cut your head open no more? Come on, bro.
WWE is WWE is slowly
trying to get back to
coming back. No, they're trying to get into a PG-13 thing.
Hopefully.
No, they are, because if you notice, there's a lot more chairs, there's a lot more headshots, there's a lot, people are starting to bleed again.
Remember when Cody took
and it's
that
getting
big
a
hit?
little more rougher.
How many people were mad at Cody for taking that big unprotected chair shot when AEW was blowing up, bro, on the scene? I think we discussed it like the first or second, third episode or some shit. But that's the thing, though. Just for me, like, watching AEW, it's more entertaining because they're more high risk. They take more risks. They're definitely taking more chances. They're throwing it all on the line, bro. Like, the blood, sweat, and tears, the sacrifices that we make. We always hear WWE, blood, sweat, and tears, blood, sweat, and tears. Well, AEW showing us the blood, the sweat, and the tears. You ain't showing us blood. You're showing us sweat. But the only tears I see is, I won a championship. Oh, I'm going to cry at WrestleMania. That's great. But they're not hungry for it anymore.
The only person.
They're not hungry.
Chris Jericho's the only person to be in ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE, TNA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I just want to state that for a fact.
And he's also the first undisputed champion of WWE history, and also the first AEW champion in history. So that dude, we're gonna get into that actually, because he is. I love Chris Jericho. I mean, I don't know, bro. You want to jump into this pay-per-view?
Let's see where we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestleMania 19 from Safeco Field, Seattle, Washington, home of the Marlins.
Yo, I mean, they had their opening vignette as always, so
packed out arena, 79,000 people at this fucking stadium.
It said like 50-something thousand. Safeco Field.
No.
I think it was 56,000 was the new attendance record. And I was like, that's Limp Bizkit's probably biggest crowd they had, minus Woodstock.
Are you sure it was 56,000? Because my notes say.
I think it said like 50. I think it said 56 or something like that. I didn't actually write down the tally, but
my notes say different. But if you're saying something else, then I totally believe you.
They open up the vignette. The World Series of Wrestling, Austin says. It's like the Olympic Games, the gold medal match. We all know that's Kurt Angle. Tournament of all tournaments, Brock said. And I'm like, wrong, Brock. That's KOTR. Everybody knows King of the Ring is the tournament of all tournaments. Why? WrestleMania is not a tournament, dude. Sorry, Brock. I still hate you.
Go say that to his face. Watch what happens.
It don't matter, bro. He'd probably say, fuck you. What you going to do, beat me? I'd love for him to whoop my ass. I would love for Brock Lesnar to give me an
would
F5.
just grab your face and he just eats you like a fucking shark.
I'd be like, Brock, can you give me an F5 like the ones you gave Kurt Angle on this night where the motherfuckers actually used to fly, not this little bullshit. Oh, I can't do it no more. I'm old. I show up once a week to wrestle and I'm a millionaire. Ha ha, I'm living in Wisconsin or Wyoming on my farm and I wrestle cows for a living.
He lives in Canada.
He lives in Canada? Whatever.
He has a farm in Canada. It's like a 60-acre farm or some shit.
I love busting Brock's balls. And I can't even front like to hate on the dude because I would really love to have that lifestyle too, where I only got to show up a few times a year and still be rich as fuck and champion. And
I heard he's got like three. I heard he's got like 3 giant green egg barbecues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably has them all going at the same time. He's like, this is my protein. Yeah.
This one's the chicken. This one's the steak. This one's the beef.
My favorite part about this is when we were talking about this, you said the greatest WrestleMania ever, and I think it's culminated to become my favorite WrestleMania ever after rewatching this. Aside from the greatest band ever, Limp Bizkit, opening up, well, the theme song was Crack Addict.
Yep.
You know, this is JR's 10th WrestleMania, so he was wearing his John Wayne cufflinks, King said. Cole and Taz are on SmackDown commentary, so it was cool seeing Taz.
Michael Cole had a cold tonight, so his voice was very raspy, and he decided to go to work anyway, and he put on a hell of a fucking show with that raspy voice working with my Uncle Taz. I will definitely say that.
Yo, it was great seeing Taz on the commentary, though, because now he's doing the Bryan stuff with AEW. And,
you see, Taz was good on commentary. I loved him on commentary. I thought he was great.
Me too. I think so too. Him and Cole were good. Him and Cole were just as good as JR and King, like opposite shows. Like
without a doubt,
those were the polar opposites.
Taz gave Brock Lesnar the term "Here comes the pain."
Here comes
when he came out one day, yeah. Oh, here comes the pain.
Yeah.
Fucking Brock Lesnar would come out.
Yeah. Yo. It's crazy. I mean, this is a lot of firsts in this WrestleMania, and this is, I'm pretty sure, a couple of lasts as we will get into. But we popping off. It's Rey Mysterio and
versus Matt Hardy with Shannon Moore, version V1.
No, this is 2.0, isn't it?
No, it's version V1.
Okay, it was V1. For some reason, I was thinking 2.0. This is Rey's first WrestleMania. And an opportunity to win the title. This is Matt's 4th WrestleMania. I predicted Rey. I had Rey picked for this.
You know what? You want to know what Matt Hardy did? What was really cool when he used to come out back then? He used to have the Matt facts and everything around the fucking
Titantron shit.
All the little facts. Yeah, that shit was cool. I wish they would bring that shit back. That shit was funny.
Yo, I mean, they
doesn't
opened
like pizza unless if it has cheese on it. like stupid little fucking facts are like really funny.
I wish I would have wrote down what the fact was for this night, but it did say something up there.
This was it said that this is Matt Hardy's 4th WrestleMania.
You're right. Yep, that was right. That's where I took the note. But this match opens explosive, bro. These are both 2 explosive performers. Clever note.
Out of the Hardy Boys, out of Jeff and Matt, do you know that Matt has more WrestleMania wins than his brother?
Yeah. Well, Matt was around more as a solo performer. Jeff's never really been a solo performer. He tried it for a little while. I mean, he did do it for a little while, but Matt was doing it.
No, Jeff had the drug problems.
Yeah. He was always in
during this time, he was in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
He was wrestling in TNA. Okay, TNA wasn't drug testing and all that, so he was drugging out in TNA.
That was the match with him and Sting, where Sting was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this guy
was 2009. No, that was 2011. Victory Road, 2011.
Okay.
3-minute match.
Sting
all
like,
fucked up on pills.
Drop him real quick. I'm done.
Exactly.
See you later. But this opens up corkscrew plunger. Ray's flying, Matt's flying. They open it up. Ray exploding straight out the gate, even though Shannon Moore is in his corner and Matt's corner. So, like I said, both intense performers. One hell of an opener. Speaking of hell, I wonder if Ray was going for the Daredevil look because he had the maroon burgundy.
And it was the Daredevil.
It was Daredevil.
Yep.
03, 04. I think
100%.
that's when the movie came out.
03.
I forget what WrestleMania or pay-per-view, but I loved his Flash mock-up. That might have been WrestleMania 20 the next year, following year. Was it? When he came out,
I thought the Flash was...
Or Royal Rumble, maybe?
That was the Royal Rumble.
It was the Rumble.
That
was my favorite.
Was the Rumble that he won for Eddie Guerrero.
That was my favorite Rey Mysterio getup.
Mine was the Joker when he beat JBL for the Intercontinental title and made JBL retire.
I gotta look back at that. I gotta. What
That's
was
at
that?
WrestleMania 25.
JBL retired in 25. Okay. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah.
That was his last match.
So this one goes pretty quick. I mean, Matt reverses the West Coast Pop after the 619. He stole the match. He held the rope. 1, 2, 3. You know, classic bad guy Matt Hardy. I'm holding on to my title. Like, I ain't letting this bitch go.
The little prick Matt Hardy he is.
Fucking. And then we go to cut scene. Limo rolls up. The Catfight girls come out. I don't even know who they are, but they are smoking.
They're the I think they were like the Bud Light,
Miller Lite.
the Budweiser,
it was Miller Lite.
like
I think
the
they said.
Playboy Bunny girls, whatever.
Yeah. But I didn't know the significance of it until later on, which we'll get into. Match number 2 was a tag handicap match. It was Taker and Nathan No Show Jones versus
hold on,
Show
hold
and Albert.
on.
I know why.
Hold on. You're not sitting here and you're not going, yo, my boy Limp Bizkit, before Taker gets out, sits there and goes, we're going to keep on rolling, baby.
Damn right. I know. Well, I'm saying No Show Jones. Well, that Limp Bizkit came out and performed it. I mean, they opened this match with Rollin'. Like, I thought they were going to perform.
With Taker coming down on his vintage Harley with the big-ass American flag on it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's American right there.
Please welcome the WWE's favorite band in the world, Limp Bizkit. Mini performance, start up the show, rolling for Taker. This is my favorite Taker period, kinda. I don't know, maybe.
Biker Taker was the best.
But this is also before American Badass. This is like Big Evil, bro. He wasn't on.
That is American Badass. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it was before the short.
It doesn't matter if Kid Rock was singing American Badass. If Taker comes out on a motorcycle with the fucking bandana,
I consider
that's Badass
Big
Taker.
Evil, bro. That was Big Evil.
Big Evil Badass Taker. It's the same thing.
I guess so. Okay,
look,
all right.
Look.
But Deadman from 1990 ain't the same as Deadman WrestleMania 20. Like,
it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
Whatever. Different eras.
You put a hot dog on
the evolution of Taker.
Look, it's the same shit. You want to have a hot dog with a bun? Fucking go get a piece of white bread and fold it. It's the same shit.
No, it's not, because if you have yellow mustard, you're a bitch. You got to get horseradish spicy yellow mustard or spicy brown mustard. They're not the same shit. It's mustard and spicy mustard. Horseradish mustard.
Yo, yellow mustard is the only thing that goes on my hot dog besides sauerkraut and onions.
Fuck yellow mustard. I mean, it's okay. If it's the only thing there, I'll have it, but spicy. Goldens, whatever, or some other
French's.
Shit. Throw a little bit of or you could even mix what my grandma does. Get horseradish and mustard and mix it together, bro. It adds that little kick to it. Slamming. But I mean, Fred's flicking off the crowd. Old school soldier, blasting down the hot shit or whatever. I don't know. Fucking typical. I'm like Fred. What are you on, crack, bro? What's going on? Like typical Fred.
He must have smoked a fatty before the fucking concert.
Well, we have to remember, he wasn't smoking a fatty, bro. He's a crack addict. He's addicted to cracking skulls, bro. Yo, I don't know. He's flicking off the audience. He's in some of the best shape of his life ever in this match, my boy Taker, I feel. He opens the match to an immediate chokeslam to A-Train. That would have been a dope W. Old school early on. I had Taker predicted for this. But the only reason why
it's the streak.
Yeah, that's the only reason why, bro. Like, I forget so many matches, but I'm like, I even took note of it right here. I'm like, the streak spoiled it. Like, otherwise, I would have said, hey,
you could watch
lose.
any WrestleMania match up until WrestleMania 30, and I don't have to even know. Taker won.
That's it.
Taker lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30.
It was pretty good match,
what
though.
A shit WrestleMania. A shit WrestleMania that was.
Which one, 30?
Yeah, the only thing that was good about it was the ending with fucking Daniel Bryan winning the title. That was the only good thing that came out of it.
I didn't even care for it too much. I hated it. Once Taker lost, I was kind of very disappointed, very mad.
The same here.
Because then they brought him back. Okay, if that was the end of the Dead Man, and that really was the end of the Dead Man, okay. But then you brought him back, and it's like, now you guys really fucked up in creative because you had him pass the torch, and then someone put it out, and then he relit it. Like, it was like the Olympics, like fucking up at the Olympics. Oh, shit, the torch went out. Hold up, everybody. Time out. Let's go relight the torch. All right, we're back in business. Continue on.
If the torch was to ever go out on the Olympics when they were going to bring it to the fucking bowl to light it on fire, they would cancel the Olympics because that means that there's no heart and no spirit. But that's never happened because it's called the Eternal Flame. Yeah. So
it's kind of like that one when you're going towards Islandia off of Motor Parkway. Yeah. That one that's always lit
right over there by the park.
Yep.
The Eternal Flame of Central Islip.
Now, there's a lot of double team now. Taker's fighting. I mean, if Taker could still perform like this, Deadman would live forever, bro. He was on a roll, bro. There was a point where, like, his hot streak was going, and I'm like, damn, bro. Taker was... For the big guy like that, he's
Taker was probably in
the shit, these guys. Like,
he was probably in some of the best shape of his career there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, eventually,
probably the best shape that he was ever in.
A-Train starts talking shit. Eventually, beating you ain't so bad. You ain't so bad, big dog. You ain't so bad, big dog. You ain't so bad, big dog. He must have said it like 5 or 6 times. And Cole said, now dominating the big dog in his yard. Spoke too soon because Taker's back.
The big dog.
This is Taker's last win. This is where he gets into high gear, intensity on 1,000. He's, flying through the air, doing his lariats, and gets one guy in one turnbuckle. The other turnbuckle, he's running back and forth with those clotheslines. He's getting them with the punches. Vintage Taker, as we say, right? I think Nathan Jones, we've spoke about him on the show before, and I think he can't fight.
What ended up happening was he left OVW very quickly. Mm-hmm. 2002, he goes to the WWE. Vince McMahon fell in love with him right away. So he was left to Jim Cornette at OVW to train to be a tag team partner with The Undertaker to eventually turn and have a SummerSlam match. That's the whole buildup of Nathan Jones.
But I was
Jones
just thinking,
was supposed to be the buildup for him and Taker to be a tag team.
Yeah.
And then once they were a tag team, they were going to win the titles. And then around Judgment Day, May or June, it would have split. And then it would have been them at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I thought like he just didn't like,
but he was too green.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was too green.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. So I'm like, maybe they were like, he's not ready for a WrestleMania yet, but they already hyped it up or already did it. So that's why they kind of went with the handicap angle. But then, come out, give 2 kicks. You can't fight. He never really lasted, but that one spinning kick was nice. Then he came in.
He runs through the crowd, kicks fucking Albert, and then fucking Big Show Taker, and then Taker takes Big Show. Yeah,
this
1, 2, 3.
This is 11-0 streak, bro. That's how old we're getting. This is only 11-0 at this point. So,
and believe it or not, that's not even my favorite Undertaker match.
No, that's not my favorite.
My favorite Taker match happened on SmackDown.
Excuse me. That's not my favorite Taker match, but I think like that was like one of my favorite eras of Taker, though, for sure. That's what I meant.
There was an Undertaker match. I want to say 2008. It was him versus Edge. No, him versus Chavo Guerrero.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
When it was La Familia with Edge, Chavo Guerrero, the Major Brothers, who are now Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, and they were having the 5-month feud against The Undertaker.
Yeah.
It was a SmackDown match about 2 weeks before he was supposed to wrestle Edge for the World Heavyweight title. Vicky Guerrero banned the Devil's Gate submission hold.
I remember that.
Which is pretty much
triangle choke, almost modified.
Your arm goes through the legs right here, and then it's a figure four with the one leg going above the head,
like
and then you grabbing his neck like this. Exactly. It's a modified triangle. It's a modified figure four triangle choke.
Speaking of modified figure four, we're gonna get into that also later on, which a move that I never seen in the Triple H match. I have it written, but we'll get into that. We go to cut scene.
But that match blew my fucking mind. My favorite Undertaker match, probably out of all of them.
With who was it? Ed, you said?
Chavo Guerrero.
Oh, Chavo. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up. Taker and Chavo
should be around 08.
All right. So I mean, Tori Playboy. This is around the era Tori's got Playboy, bro. It goes to the cut scene. Tori and Stacy with the catfight girl segment.
She was never good looking.
So you know something's gonna cook up. Who? What?
Yeah, Tori was never good looking.
Oh my god, are you bugging? She was my favorite. I love Tori.
There's something about her face just wasn't right.
Dog, I loved Tori since she was with Billy Kidman.
I saw her. Look, I went to the 2019 Hall of Fame. I got to see Tori Wilson be inducted. I got to see Stacy Keibler. I was there when Bret Hart got attacked. I was there that night.
Yeah.
I got to see Stacy Keibler. She looks hotter now than she did back then.
Those legs, bro.
Tori Wilson changed from back then to today.
Yeah, no, I know.
She looks hotter today.
You think?
Than she did back. She's got facial implants and everything. She actually worked on her face. She looks really good.
I don't know. I think she looked super sexy back then, bro. I've been in love with her since she dated Billy Kidman.
She had a good body.
I used to hate Billy Kidman, bro. I used to hate Billy Kidman because I'm like,
Billy Kidman was hitting that shit every week.
I'm like, this motherfucker is shooting star pressing that pussy every fucking night. Fucking asshole.
That's all right. Hey, guess what? When Stacy Keibler left, she started dating George Clooney.
I mean, I told you the
George
story.
Clooney.
I told you the story about. I'm pretty sure we spoke about it on this episode. Castro charging us way too much money for Playboys. I had the 03 Tory issue, and then 04 Sable and Tory came out with the duo, and I had to like save up extra lunch money, trade in Castro, the old Tory Playboy, and like an extra $5 or $10 or whatever the hell it was. Fucking highway robbery to get this edition of Tory and Sable's Playboy. Had it in the spy case, bro. And me, Eric, and Anthony, that was like our fucking treasure, bro. Like, yeah, we got a Playboy 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, I don't know, 6th grade, elementary school grade, whatever. Fuck it. Actually, no.
High school. Junior high.
No, I was 5th grade because 99, I was in 3rd grade. That's the year I think me and Castro, 99, 2000 got in trouble.
We're the same age.
Yeah, I know.
We're the same age.
I graduated Winona in 03, and that was 6th grade. So I might have been 6th grade. Yeah, 03, 6th grade, actually. You're right, middle school, going into middle school. Going into 7th grade. Holy shit, the timeline. Yep. Crazy. But, I mean, oh my God, this may be the greatest WrestleMania ever. You know, JR, you know who that is. Oh my God, this may be the greatest WrestleMania ever, JR. Tori and Stacy, catfight girls. King. And then I personally agreed, King. Like, I think it is one of the greatest WrestleManias ever. JR's funny little 2 cents. There's a lot of pups. There's a lot of pups in the dog pound. It's rated PG. Puppy's good. That's what King said. Classic
you see,
Jerry
that
and JR.
is creative. That is creative.
Yo, there's so many quotes that you could quote JR and King off of, bro, and their energy, the way they feed off each other, bro. Like, they'll say something and there's something that wasn't even in the script or on the teleprompter or someone in the truck, and they just come off the top like that and work in sync.
Exactly. Well, King's been wrestling and doing one-liners since the 70s. So, God damn it, don't put it past them.
So, I mean, we're coming up to the next match is going to be Trish Stratus. She comes out sexy as hell, as always.
Yeah, this was right after she broke off from, I want to say, TNA.
She was always one of my favorites, too.
Which was Test and Albert, and Trish Stratus was the
TNA.
Tag team manager.
I mean, I had Trish picked for this because she was always like the favorite, I guess. Like she's like one of those women's champions.
She was up and coming around.
10-time women's champion, 11-time women's champion. Like before the Charlotte Flairs, it was Trish really who paved the way. 6-time, whatever.
She's a 6-time women's champion.
But I'm saying, like, that was a lot back then, you know? Charlotte Flair's only been in the industry how long? She's like an 11-time already. I'm like, come on, you know?
9
still. But, I mean, it's a triple threat women's championship match. Trish versus Jazz versus Victoria. I always thought Jazz was a badass. But, you know,
Jazz is still wrestling. She's in Impact Wrestling. She's wrestling still.
Dope.
Yeah.
And
she still looks the same.
JR says, Jazz is like the young Mike Tyson-like attitude. Mike Tyson look-alike, matter of fact. That's King for you.
Jazz, back then, was dating one of the other WWE superstars, and I think
Rodney
she's
Mack.
Married to him.
Rodney
Mack.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Holla, 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 player. Good old boy Teddy Long, manager from the jump.
Yeah.
Bringing it back, brother. Bringing it back.
It's the Mac militant. Come in and get it on.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, you coming.
Yo, I kind of, they actually would make a great couple, bro. I mean, looking back at it now, I remember, I feel like, yeah, that's definitely, did they ever do anything on the show together? Or how the hell did I know that? I think I just knew it.
You probably just knew it.
Just knew it. But honestly, yo, like I said, Trish is perfection. One of the baddest divas of all time. And yes, I say divas because it wasn't always women's division. There used to be a divas championship at one time. There wasn't always a women's championship at one. I mean,
this was the women's title.
Yeah, this was the women's title, but it wasn't called that. You know, it was the sexists. They were divas. Like women were allowed to be hot and sexy and didn't really even know,
they were
how to
hot
wrestle.
And sexy girls exactly.
You didn't have to have talent. You could come out in a bra and panty, rip a bra off, a panty off, and you won the bra and panties match for the title. You know.
To be fair, during the Divas era, some of them did come from OVW before OVW disbanded, and then they started working with Florida Championship Wrestling. So out of the Divas division, you had Michelle McCool, Layla, you had
Lita,
Maria Kanellis.
Still Lita too.
No, Lita retired in 06.
Oh,
07.
Well, you're talking about the women's division? Like the women's
there were women's division stars that carried over to the Divas division.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yep. But Divas era, like we're talking like the Stacy, the Tori, the Christy Hemme, you know. Maybe Christy kind of got in there. Was it still Divas title?
Christy Hemme really doesn't know how to wrestle. She doesn't
hot ass, bro.
Exactly.
Little hot ass redhead. Let's do Playboy following Tori and Sable's footsteps, and you know the deal. But yeah, I mean, Trish set some of the biggest stepping stones for the Charlotte Flairs, the Paiges, the Sasha Banks, the Baileys. Fight me if you disagree, because she really was like kind of the biggest foundation.
Victoria's on that list also.
Yeah, Victoria's in there too.
Victoria's on that list.
You're right, 100%. And you know, she's in this match too. But
as the women's champion, she comes in the women's champion and loses.
I mean, King, another classic line from King. She's a quarter among pennies in there. What the hell does that mean? Good old JR. Like, she's hot.
Made no sense.
Yeah, but quarter among pennies, because if you think about it, like, yo, she's a dime piece. Like, she's a 10. She's a quarter, bro. She's a 25. Pennies. Pussy is 2 cents a ton. It's everywhere. But she's the quarter in the bunch. So it makes sense when you break it down in man talk.
You break it down in words I can understand.
I mean, after she hits the chick kick, I don't even think it was called the chick kick at the time. It was just a big kick.
It was the Mick.
And they just said
it was called the.
They were like, oh, a big kick. And then she hits him. Like, they didn't say, oh, chick kick. They just said big kick. And then 1, 2, 3.
The chick kick.
No, but I don't think it was called the chick kick yet. This might have even been before it was branded as the chick kick. Because they were just like, oh, big kick by Trish. And then she pinned her. And that silver suit she was wearing was so tight up her ass before she stepped up on the turnbuckle, bro. I saw that thing riding up her ass. That, you know, that the second she got up there, bro, you see her, she's like, she had to pull that joint down. I was like, yeah. And then it went right to the next segment as she was like picking it. Now Now we're gonna
she was picking it.
Yeah, you know, picking the booty hole. But okay, so now we're going into a segment where it cuts to The Rock and Coach. Now Rock is booed at this point, just back from Hollywood, but he calls this the Holy Grail to The Rock to beat Austin. Now, if Roman Reigns had The Rock's energy, he'd be the top dog for real. He just bores me with that. Ooh, ah. I mean, that's like 2 seconds of The Rock's electricity, bro.
No, hold on. You got to see Roman Reigns now. He plays the fucking heel fantastic.
I've seen him recently, but I'm just
he's with Paul Heyman.
I know
he's with Paul Heyman.
Energy. I don't care if he's with Paul Heyman.
What Reigns is doing right now is making the crowd like him.
You think?
And I'm being honest. I hated Roman Reigns when they disbanded the Shield and made him the biggest thing. I hate Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Hate him. What he's doing right now is his best work. And I mean, like, he's getting the crowd to cheer for him, even though he's a bad guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so that's a good sign.
Because
they're
The Rock,
letting
good or
him
bad,
be
I love The
him.
Rock. So.
The Rock, today's crowd, The Rock's a 50-50. Well, back then, The Rock was a 50-50 crowd.
Yeah.
Today, everybody's going to cheer The Rock because, it's The Rock.
Hollywood, worldwide, of course. But I'm just saying, like, even in general, like, when you look back, bro, The Rock always had that electricity, bro. He was always the jabroni beating, the pie eating, la 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 la. You can't fuck with that,
trailblazing, eyebrow raising,
yeah,
kicking shit into your pants and stepping it dry.
Word for word, he says, "This is Act 3, the end, the climax, the grand finale, the last chapter to the greatest rivalry this industry has ever seen." And I'm 100% on that, agreeing that it probably is the greatest rivalry that we have ever seen, and the biggest foundation.
At that point,
thing
I will explain later. I don't want to spoil it.
What I'm saying,
I have the full details on that match.
Coming out the Attitude Era, but he said it's the jabroni
point,
beating.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I already said it, but I didn't say the whole quote because I knew I wrote it down, but I didn't. But he says, the jabroni beating, pie eating, la 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 la, not afraid to sweat, not afraid to bleed, gonna beat that bald-headed bastard guaranteed. Coach, The Rock done it all. Finally. Then I'm thinking he's gonna do finally The Rock come back. He pauses and he goes, finally, and then walks off because now he's finally gonna whoop Austin's ass. And he can finally say he did.
Yeah, because Steve Austin's beaten him at every WrestleMania that they ever met at.
Yo, what was it? Like every 2 years, it was 15, 17, 19?
15, 17, 19.
17 was
Stone
another
Cold
favorite
beat him in
WrestleMania.
15. Stone Cold beat him in 17 by helping Vince McMahon. And this was The Rock's last chance to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin because the next night Stone Cold was retiring.
Yeah, and we knew it, but when we get to that match, we're gonna break down that match. I think I got a whole page dedicated to that match.
I used to have the documentary of behind the scenes of WrestleMania 19, and I know the entire reason why that Stone Cold had to retire.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna definitely bust that down.
I will definitely say this: it's right around the realm of why Bret Hart can't wrestle.
Yeah. Well, viva la raza!
We got a triple threat for the WWE Tag Team titles.
We got
coming down the ramp first.
Chavo.
Is Chavo Guerrero.
Los Guerreros. That was
Then
Los
we
Guerreros.
have the makeshift team of Rhino
Fucking Benoit, bro.
and Benoit. Actually, two ECW originals right here.
They
Two
both had neck
ECW
injuries.
originals.
They both had neck injuries the last WrestleMania, so they missed out. So they were like, hey, since you guys missed out last year, you want to team up? Like, this is your WrestleMania moment. Sure, why not? Like, of course, you want your WrestleMania moment.
And my favorite tag team ever.
Team Angle.
The world's greatest tag team.
Haas and Benjamin.
Haas and Benjamin. I don't care what anybody says. They were my favorite tag team when they were with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Great shit great shit that they did when Kurt Angle broke up Team Angle. They continued as the world's greatest tag team.
Yeah.
And they really were.
Yo,
they were the greatest tag team from 03 to about 08.
Whatever happened to Charlie Haas? Wasn't
awesome.
He married to like Jacqueline too? Jackie?
I don't know. All I know is that he's a chiropractor and a teacher now.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, Shelton Benjamin was one of my favorite at one point. I had the Shelton Benjamin action figure, and I remember talking to Eric.
Shelton Benjamin was mad cool. He was cool. He was the greatest high flyer. He was
flying,
back then.
jumping, doing crazy shit. I remember talking to Estro about him, and Estro was like, yo, that's a good pick for your favorite.
I remember when Shawn Michaels super kicked him when he jumped off the top rope. That shit was cool.
We did see one of those actually on this night. We saw a super kick like that. But this is the first WrestleMania for Team Angle. But back to Shelton Benjamin, bro. Like, his segments always killed me. Like, those segments when he brought his mama in, bro. Those joints had me in stitches, man. But he was just an insane athlete, bro. Whatever happened to Shelton? He came back for a little bit.
Shelton's on Monday Night Raw.
He's still wrestling? He's still back? All right. Goes to show you I haven't watched Raw in a while.
Him and Cedric Alexander are doing a feud right now.
All right.
With Bobby Lashley, with Bobby Lashley and MVP. They were all in a big stable called the Hurt Business.
Ah, all right. Yeah, I mean, Shelton's great. This match was kind of nostalgic. No lie, bro. I miss Eddie and Chris. It was kind of great to take a trip down memory lane and watch this match.
You know, when I rewatched this WrestleMania, the next video that came up was the night after Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Where Eddie took off Ray's mask and he's sitting there in the chair and he's sitting there going, "Why, Paquito? ¿Por qué? Why'd you make me do it, Ray?"
Yeah. That was another great rivalry. I actually took it note right here.
That was probably his best rivalry out of all of them. I loved Eddie Guerrero, but that was probably his best rivalry was with Rey Mysterio.
I mean, I said Eddie and Chris together is live, bro. I mean, Ray and Eddie that's the next best thing next to Ray and Eddie. Ray and Eddie.
I wanted to see.
Then Chris and Eddie, like just the way that the chemistry between them work in the ring, unmatchable.
I want to see. You know what? Now that we're talking about it, I got to look and I got to see if there's a Rey Mysterio versus a Chris Benoit match. As I don't think I've ever seen one.
There probably might have been in WCW.
I don't even think even in WCW.
Dude, I was watching, I forget what it was on the WWE network. It might have been Eddie Guerrero's greatest moments, and it was like Eddie and Ray wrestling in Mexico, bro. Like, long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Some of the best shit that they did was at house shows and stuff.
Yeah. But they were just there was no keeping up with them motherfuckers.
Ray, like why'd you make me do it, S.A.?
if you had an Iron Man match for an hour long, that would be... If they had an Iron Man match for an hour long.
Ray and Eddie for an Iron Man match an hour long?
Forget about it. Greatest match of all time.
It would turn out like the Brett Michaels. I'm thinking of Shawn and Brett together.
Yeah, Shawn and Brett match.
It would mimic Shawn and Brett's match, pinfall to pinfall at the last 5 minutes, and then going into overtime.
Yeah.
It totally would end like that. It 100%. Totally would.
Yeah. Definitely. No question asked, bro.
Eddie with a lot of submissions, Ray with the high flying, Eddie with the high flying. Yeah, you could definitely get a good repeat of Brett and Shawn Iron Man match.
I think it might even surpass it. Just my personal 100%. Opinion. Like, it's a dream match. I wish we could go.
Well, here's a match that Paul Heyman wanted to do when he was running the Big Six.
You know what I'm going to do, bro? I'm going to go into GM mode on SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 or whatever fucking SmackDown vs. Raw I can find. I'm going to go in and I'm going to create an Iron Man match of Ray and Eddie, and I'm going to see the outcome and watch it through.
Oh, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea.
The computer on the highest difficulty level.
SmackDown versus Raw 2006 would be the closest that you would have because everybody's in their prime at that point.
All right. So 06.
So 06 is the best one you want to use.
I think that was the first one, right? Too, wasn't it? SmackDown versus Raw 06 the first, or 05 was the first?
No, SmackDown vs. Raw was the first one.
And then they had
Then it
two.
was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so the first one came out 05, I think, or 04, and then
Yes.
06 came out in 05.
05 was for 06, yes.
I mean, this, like I said, next best thing. This match has everything. The rolling Germans, the hat-trick suplex on Chavo. I mean,
it's got high flying
one more
spots.
coming. It was 4, bro. He did 4. Like, he was suplexing.
You got grappling. 4. You got a lot of good shit in this match. This match should have went easy 20 minutes. I mean, easy 20 minutes.
Gore. What video game? It's got to be a SmackDown vs. Raw. I'm trying to think about it.
Here comes the pain and shut your mouth.
Gore. I mean, Benjamin capitalizes right here, and
Team Angle, man, world's greatest tag team.
I think it was a fucking insane match, to say the least, though. I mean, all those athletes in there together, like, we're talking about just the chemistry that 3 of them have. They're all young, in the ring,
too. They're all young.
Add the other mix in there. Rhino is great, bro. Don't get me wrong. Rhino is fucking awesome.
Rhino knows when to put the gas on.
I mean, he has an intensity. I think he could have been a little bit bigger. I remember like kind of being scared of Rhino when I was younger, because I was like, he was like
ECW. He was a lot bigger.
Yeah, not even ECW, but just like when he came, he was just like a brute. Like, even though he was short, he was stocky like a pit. Just tear you a fucking apart, bro.
Yeah.
But
100%.
Excuse me. Hold on 1 second. All right, so yeah, let's jump in. Next up, we got Hogan.
Your boy. Whoa!
Vince
Skip the winners.
Vince McMahon.
The world's greatest tag team won.
Benjamin Capital. We said that.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say it.
No, you said it, bro. I said Benjamin capitalized. You said world's greatest tag team won.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan. I predicted Hogan on this. I mean,
whoa, that's not till later.
Actually, you know what? No, it is the match, but in the meantime, the catfight girls settle it in the ring, in bed, in ring, in bed.
It's a no contest because they pulled down fucking Coachman's pants.
I got to agree with Blondie. I'd rather settle it in bed. That's just my dog ass looking for puppies, though, but yeah, you're right. I forgot that little segment in there. I had a little note on it here. But
I was going to say, you're like jumping all over the place. The next thing I had was Michaels versus Jericho. The catfight girls aren't until after Jericho.
I don't. Oh, you know what it was? They threw the segment in here though for Vince and Hogan. Like, they had the segment prior to the catfight girls. It's a backstage
segment and promo to the match building up. We don't really need to cover that.
That's what it was. You're right. I don't know why I had it here though. I had VM versus Hulk Hogan. I think I wrote it, and then like it didn't show up until later on because I had Cat Girl segment. You're right. Match 5, HBK versus Y2J. Yo, this is a legendary one. I don't know if there has been anyone in this industry with more charisma than that man. That is King speaking on HBK, I believe. Could be Y2J.
This is the first time that they met. This is the first time that they met. First time. And then when they met again in 08, they blew it away. I mean, than what they did at WrestleMania 19.
I'm pretty sure that was King saying it about, HBK. Nobody more charisma than that man. And I said, I don't know. Y2J is a good start. Like, if anybody's got more charisma than HBK, like, I'm old Sean, like Sean pre-Christian Sean, like crazy reckless Sean, insane, out of this world. Jericho to this day, pre-Jericho, new Jericho, still no fucks given. Like, he doesn't.
It's the evolution of Jericho.
But I mean, I forgot all about this rivalry, and I don't know how. I left
this was one of the greatest rivalries that I can remember in my childhood, besides The Rock and Austin and The Rock and Vince and Stone Cold. This was one of the greatest rivalries.
I agree.
Because they built this up for a good 4 months.
Yeah. And it's
this was building up since this started at that year's Royal Rumble. I believe there was like 12, I think it was like 5, 6 people in the ring. It was about to come down to the last 3 entrants. Shawn Michaels eliminates Jericho. Jericho comes in and eliminates Shawn Michaels just because he's being a dick, and they start fighting on the outside. Then the next night on Raw, they start doing their thing. Then they have a little, like, something happens at used to be Elimination Chamber. I'm trying to remember what it is now. I think it's Bad Blood or whatever. Back then,
they had an Elimination Chamber back then. Before
Elimination Chamber didn't debut until 2000.
Wasn't it Revolution? New Year's Revolution? Revolutions?
Debuted in 2002. They didn't bring it back until 2004.
For Revolution, right, though? Wasn't it New Year's Eve Revolution or some shit?
New Year's Eve Revolution was the pay-per-view that they had it for. I wish
WWE would bring back that pay-per-view, bro. Like a New Year's pay-per-view, though. That would be dope. Since I don't really do shit on New Year's anymore, bro. I'm getting old. To have a pay-per-view, bro, or just like a party, like have a New Year's party, and then they should have like their own ball drop so we don't got to watch Times Square. Like,
that would be pretty cool.
I mean, that's just me. The cameras were shooting a WrestleMania movie, King said. And I'm like, yeah, we're still waiting on that. Like, I haven't seen a WrestleMania movie. Unless they're talking about a couple years later when WrestleMania goes Hollywood in WrestleMania 21. But that wasn't even a movie. It was just like, but King said it like 6 times. JR was like, King, you said it 6 times during this match. Like, kept talking about the movie. He was bringing it up later on. He's like, we're shooting a WrestleMania movie. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, where is
talking
this movie,
about, bro? Fucking recording it. No, he's talking about them filming it for
the vignettes,
DVD and DVD and home release.
Could have been. I mean, obviously, this was going to be an intense match. 2 of the best in the last 3 generations as of now, and yes, 3 because Y2J on the big 30 years, baby, Rockstar. Fucking 1990. He just had his 30-year. I think we were just talking about an episode or so ago. 2 episodes ago we were talking, or 3 maybe. I don't know.
I think it was about 2 of them.
Yeah, he came up on. Who cares, bro? 30 years fucking wrestling, bro. I mean, this is first time after WrestleMania 5 years ago. WrestleMania 14 that would be. This is the return entrance for Shawn. So I'm thinking
this is his first WrestleMania back.
Yeah, in 5 years. I got really sloppy here on my
He already won. He already won the World Heavyweight title and everything. So that already happened. He already had the blow off match with Triple H.
Oh, I know what that is.
So this is after he won the world title, and yeah.
I mean, this is his SmackDown Here Comes the Pain or whatever from that era entrance. He's got the cross.
Yes, 100%.
He's got the cross. We have the Christian Michaels. Yep. They were talking. He was transformed. That's what King said. Transformed Michaels. Especially, yes. You know, he's not the same booty grabbing, sunny fucking Shawn, King. He's not the same. I mean,
he ain't screwing anybody now.
Chris looks super young still. I mean, this is only under half his career. He still looks like
Lionheart from WCW. That's what he still looks like.
This is under half his career this time. I mean, 30 this year. That's 91. So this is 03. That's 12 years.
He was, when he came out to the ring, they billed him from Manhasset, New York, right here on Long Island, baby.
We're getting old, bro. He was only wrestling 12 years at this point. We were all watching this as kids growing up, and now he's wrestling for 30 fucking
100. Years. 100, bro. 100.
Oh, man. But, Y2J with the kip up. HBK flex. HBK kips up. That's the original, JR says. I mean, these two are like a mirror image of each other. Y2J tuning up the shuffle, hits the sweet chin music. The counters were crazy in this match.
I thought Chris Jericho had the coolest fucking sweet chin music. He'd sit there, tune it up, and then right before he go to hit it, he fucking shuffled the feet.
Yep, Muhammad Ali.
That shit was cool.
That's it.
I
didn't think he was going to kick it, bro. I thought, like, as soon as he shuffled, I was like, he wasted too much time. It's countering. He connected, bro. Just wasn't a Shawn super kick,
fucking
so it wasn't enough for the finish.
Great super kick.
But, I mean, I loved the match overall, bro. Y2J.
This was a 25-minute match, and it could have gone for 40.
Yeah, Y2J. You know, that was an emotional one for him because I'm sure that was like definitely one of his influences growing up. Obviously, as the
100%
leading up to it. I mean, he cried, hugged Sean. Like I didn't think he was gonna.
And then he low blows him.
Kicks him in the balls. Typical vintage Chris Jericho bad guy. Like fuck you, I'm fucking getting my way.
Yeah,
you know. Sweet chin out of nowhere, though. That was what it was. Sean hit the sweet chin out of nowhere. Roll up. HBK won.
No. Chris Jericho went for a suplex, and he rolled out of it with a surprise roll up for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but didn't he counter? Didn't he counter with a sweet chin out of nowhere, Sean, for the win? I thought. I don't know. I had it.
No. Shawn Michaels won by reversing Chris Jericho's suplex into a surprise roll up.
Okay. All right. Sylvain Grenier or Rene Dupree or whatever as a SmackDown ref walking into Vince's office. I was wondering what the fuck was going on. I just remembered that little French fuck. I was like, this prick.
With the big poodle and everything. Yeah.
Coming out weirdo. Doing a little.
No.
His little bounce, bro. Remember that little bounce he used to do?
Yeah. Fucking weirdo, dude. And here's the weirdest thing about Sylvain Grenier. Oh, wait. Rene Dupree. When Rene came in, he was going around the locker room and telling everybody that he's been doing this since he was like 8 years old. He was 19 when he came into the WWE.
Yeah.
He was telling all the veterans, yeah, I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. You know, I have more experience than you guys. You know, some of the people that, you know, that have been there for like 5, 6 years and, you know, they've been wrestling for like 10, 15 years independently. But this guy's been doing it since he was 8 years old and it's been 11 years and everything. So they ribbed on him really bad. That's why we don't hear from Rene Dupree no more. Yeah. He left. Both locker rooms did not like him. He rubbed everybody the wrong way. And 19 years old and being cocky and saying that, yeah, you know, I've been doing this since I was 8. Keep that to yourself, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? I was jerking off when I was 8. I was jerking off when I was 8 when my balls weren't pumping yet.
Show it off in the ring and then just respect everybody who's backstage.
Yo, that's a straight fact. There was one thing that came up one time where he was like attacking Tori or some shit, and John Cena came out and saved Tori, and I loved that.
Rene Dupree used to bully a lot of people, and Rene Dupree was sent to Human Resources a couple of times for harassing the women.
Fucking. He's like, wee. You want to see my wee? You have no wee. It's the roids. Your balls are in your stomach.
Ooh.
Fucking. Yeah, I mean. Anyway, Limp Bizkit, Crack Addict from their new album, which we never received. Hence, the album that actually came out in 2004 was called Results May Vary. LB had the pill bottle CD years before Shady had Relapse. When you opened it up, it was like a pill case and it said open and close. Like you could turn it, like how you do a pill case, but it was the CD. Shady came out with Relapse and it was also a pill thing. And I'm like, maybe Eminem was following Fred Durst with like the middle fingers and the stuff later down the line. I don't know.
Well,
they had a lot in common.
In one of his music videos?
They had a lot in common, but they were also beefing. Like, they also beefed. They had a song that was...
He was in one of his music videos.
Yeah, but they had a song together that was never actually officially released. And then Eminem came out with that diss song, Girls, talking about you little punk-ass Limp Bizkit, motherfucking Limp Bizkit, whatever. He dissed them a couple times. Yeah, but
they did a music video together.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I mean, they were in Hollywood together. They started off cool, bro. They became beefing over whatever reason. And then there was
what song is it?
Then there was DJ Lethal, who was...
It's all about the he said, she said bullshit, and you leave him with a fat lip.
Yeah,
he's in that music video. Eminem's in that music video.
I know, but that was 2000, bro. They got into beef later on. That was Chocolate Starfish, or even Significant Other, that might have been. But like, they got into it later on, and DJ Lethal was House of Pain's DJ.
Was it Ja Rule?
House of Pain was Jump
Ja
Around.
Rule, like the main
beef with Eminem.
Wasn't Ja Rule like the main beef that went around from like 02 to like 06? Wasn't that a lot of like Ja Rule shit?
Yeah, I mean, that was Eminem was dissing everybody, bro. He was dissing Whitey Ford, Everlast, who was House of Pain, was Jump Around.
Did they ever find out who killed his? Did they ever find out who killed Proof?
To be honest, I don't know.
Or did Ja Rule set that fucking hit up?
I don't know, bro. I don't think it would have been Ja Rule. If anybody, Ja Rule wasn't the gangster. It was probably Irv Gotti.
Well, the only reason why I say Ja Rule is because that fucking 50 left Ja Rule's fucking record company and then jumped over to fucking Shady Aftermath.
Well, I think he was bragging about how he stabbed him and shit. Like, Ja Rule was more an entertainer, bro. More than
but I've heard but I've heard some shit about Ja Rule, and I know somebody. One of my friends is I'm not going to say any more than this, but one of my friend's spouses used to be the background dancer for Ja Rule. Okay. So I have heard some shit.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. To be honest, I don't really know. Like the whole.
That's why I asked, because I know Ja Rule was stirring up a lot of shit.
He was
between 02 to 06.
I mean, that was 50 and
a lot of the big beef. A lot of the big beef is when 50 went to Shady Aftermath with fucking Dr. Dre and Eminem to sign on their record. And I knew a lot of 50's beef transferred over to it. So that's why I'm saying, because I know Ja Rule was a big part of that. Him and Ja Rule were fucking going back and forth for like years.
Eminem said it on You Don't Know. He said, wear it like a badge of honor. We'll pass it around and share it and let it go to whoever's holding the most current beef on their shoulders. And let the soldiers know we got their back till it's over. But tonight, we ain't coming here to beef with nobody. We came to party. Banks, Cassius, and Mr. Ferrari. So it's Shady at the Mizzad, that and that ass. You whiz ass, some shit. What kind of a supple position is that? I don't know what the fuck he said. But, you know, his crazy rhyme scheme.
That sounds close.
Anyway,
that sounds not close.
So Limp Bizkit, they performed Crack Addict. That was actually a dope song. I'm thinking why we never received the album is because maybe it was on. We talk about the WWE fallout with their favorite band, Limp Bizkit. We were talking the other day. You said when Kid Rock came along, things changed and shit. But I'm thinking maybe WWE was working on the song with Limp Bizkit, or they paid the studio and it was under WWE's production, under their label, you know? And then they fell out.
Jim Johnson said something about that in a recent interview. And it was Vince's idea to pull the plug.
Yeah.
Because Kid Rock was becoming a bigger thing and Vince wanted a little bit of Southern rock to be incorporated with WWE music, even though Kid Rock's from Detroit, Michigan, from the north, but he does Southern rock songs. Yeah. Kid Rock's more promotable. Mm-hmm. Kid Rock doesn't have that
Limp
bad
Bizkit was
image.
Brash.
The only bad image that Kid Rock has was when he dated Sheryl Crow, and then he was, you know, when they broke up, he was stalking her for a little while. That's about the worst thing that we got out of Kid Rock, was just him stalking Sheryl Crow after they broke up.
I'm thinking too, like, it was kind of like the end of like the new metal era, like 03, 04. New metal was like 90s, millennium. It got big.
Kid Rock's been around since 94.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Kid Rock.
Kid Rock's been around since 94.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, but he has like something that you still listen to.
Fred Durst pretty much burst on the scene in like 97, 98.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I mean, like, new metal, the genre is not really marketable today to today's audience. It would just fall under the metal category, or nostalgic. Like I was listening to Saliva the other day. Click, click, boom. And I'm like, that was in the original Fast and the Furious movie where they're racing. What kind of car can you can afford, pal? That was a fucking
WrestleMania song.
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
No, ladies and gentlemen, was a Saliva song that was WrestleMania 23's theme song.
Oh, they definitely. Saliva worked with them. Drowning Pool worked with WrestleMania even, bro. I've been to a Drowning Pool concert. Only 200 people showed up.
Drowning Pool did the original ECW theme in 96. Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
That's all ECW.
I wish I could scream.
That's like all that, ECW.
But so yeah, I mean, moving on, yo. We got the WrestleMania Catgirl pillow fight. Stacy had the Kid Rock theme. Stacy had the Kid Rock theme at this point. She's got legs. She knows how to use them. ZZ Top cover. Original.
Exactly. Thank you.
Kid Rock hit it. I saw ZZ Top live at the Paramount too.
Kid Rock did the best cover.
I took my dad to go see
She's Got
ZZ
Legs.
Top for his birthday at the Paramount a couple years ago, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are still rocking, bro. They came out with their fucking cow skin or whatever guitars, like wrapped.
They're
and
in
shit.
their 70s,
And, yo, they're rocking,
in their
bro.
70s, and they're still kicking ass.
Yo, they're still rocking. I'm like, bro, they gotta be like going like the Rolling Stones, 50 years strong, bro.
Rolling Stones, dude, they're in their 80s and they're still touring.
I don't know, man. It's gotta be crazy. My prediction, my prediction was, well, Tori comes out, so she's like, I'm gonna make it a fatal 4-way. Not gonna lie, this match was super corny, but hot as fuck. Had me smiling the whole way. My prediction was, we were all winners, King. I mean, we were all winners in that match. Braun panties come off. Coach was the only loser. Coach took the big L in his tighty whities out there.
They pulled his pants down.
But hey, listen, if those girls were beating me with a pillow and pulled my pants down, I'll trade places, Coach. Let's go.
Dun-dun-duns. They pulled him down to a dun-dun-duns.
CFG, I don't know what the fuck. Oh, the catfight girls are hot, but they're no Tori and Stacy. I don't know. Tori and Stacy were like beyond hot, bro.
Stacy was hot.
Me and my friend Nico, and like when we were kids with our back to the spy cases with the hidden Playboys, we used to have journals, bro. And I just remember like, I wish Stacy would wrap those legs around me. Those long legs, bro. Like she could put me in a triangle choke. She could suffocate me, scissor lock, whatever, just to have those legs wrapped around me. And I'm in like 5th grade thinking this shit, bro. Stacy was my favorite. Then it became Tori. And then it was like just them together. Them together was like double trouble, bro. Like, out of here with that. But all right, yo. We are going on to match number 6, Triple H versus Booker. This is one that I'm guessing WWE wanted us to forget about.
They made this very racist. Yeah, they made this
I watched
very
a video
racist.
on YouTube recently, and they said
people like you aren't allowed to be world champions.
So this is Booker T's been in for 2 years now. First title shot after being WCW's last champion, if I'm correct. This is one segment, like 100%. I said, they want you to forget. Yeah, and it was the somebody like you. And I mean, we've spoke on this.
Couldn't even lace up my boots, let alone be world champion.
We spoke on this on the one episode about, I said, when Booker T wins, did he do 6-time? He did do it, but he did it like this. He did the index finger. I did it like this. Did he do 6-time? He went 6-time. Like he stood up to the crowd and he was showing them like, this is going to be it, baby, you know? I did see him do it in the vignette. Their chemistry is in sync in this match, though. They were both good performers.
Nah.
You didn't think so?
Nah. The match was very sloppy.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay.
Very sloppy.
I don't know. I was drinking a little bit.
Triple H wasn't in the match. I'll be honest with you. Triple H knew he was winning, so
yeah. Well,
why even try?
We had the Death Valley lock earlier.
I don't want to do anything. That's why the JBL became WWE champion because I didn't want to work Tuesdays.
But this is the modified move I was telling you earlier.
Cowboy.
What was that?
I said I'm shooting from the hip, cowboy.
Who's that? Hogan?
Paul Heyman.
Oh. Fuck him. But I thought
the only reason why you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Who did he say that to?
JBL at ECW One Night Stand.
Wait, who said that though? Heyman said that to JBL?
Paul Heyman said that to JBL. He's sitting there. He's ranting on the Raw and SmackDown crew that's sitting up at the Hammerstein Ballroom, making fun of him. He sits there and he blasts Eric Bischoff. And then he looks at JBL and he goes, ooh, and I almost forgot about you. Since you want to shoot from the hip, cowboy, let me tell you something. The only reason why you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Whoa.
Insinuating the fact that Triple H was already the world heavyweight champion, so they wanted to make him WWE champion, but he said nah, so they made JBL the champion.
Shout out to my guy Hashi. He just popped up. He's going live right now. But he was actually on the last episode of Our Time Is Now. So I don't know. I was just giving him the shout out because he's going to pop up in our video later on anyway. But check out the last episode if you haven't. But yo, that's actually a good promo though. Paul Heyman, I think, is one of the better creatives off the top of his head, bro. He could come out and make gold. He could come out and there's a total shit show going on. The crowd is fucking furious about a riot, and he comes out and he looks through the curtain. He's like, "Oh fuck, I got to get out there and do something." And he's gonna go out there and make the show better, bro. He's gonna turn the crowd.
Oh yeah,
he just has that ability. He's just fucking a wizard. With that
I am the advocate for Brock Lesnar.
Yo, I made a fucking. Did I tell you about the meme I made for Twitter? I got so sick of him saying Brock Lesnar all the time, and I was like, "Yo, he's on Brock's dick, right?" So I went and found a picture of Johnny Sins, and I fucking put Paul Heyman's face on Johnny Sins, and I put Brock Lesnar's face on Johnny Sins' dickhead, and the veins are there. And I was like, my advocate for Cock Lesnar.
There was, before we go back into
I would put the picture right here. I would put the picture right here, but somebody's going to sue me or we're going to get defunded and kicked off YouTube and shit. So maybe I'll just put the link for it. You can view it.
There was an episode of Raw where Brock Lesnar was actually talking on the mic, and he's talking, and I forget who he's talking to, and he sits there and he goes, and at the end, all I'm gonna do is break your arm. Now say something stupid, Paul, and hands him the mic. Say something stupid, Paul.
You know, Paul was like, all right, I got something. Let me tell these people something.
That was great. He answered the mic and says, "Say something stupid."
They work good together, bro. I don't think Brock would have.
They are great together.
I don't think Brock would have got where he was without Paul, and vice versa.
Oh, without a doubt.
Vice versa. Maybe Paul wouldn't be as prominent in wrestling today without Brock, because going back to when they first
Paulie dangerously. I mean, you know,
no,
Paul Heyman's going to be around for a while.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He always would have been around. He would have been behind the scenes writing. He'd be involved in the industry. But I'm talking about screen time and the way he's worked his way up the ranks, coming from the bottom to be where he is now. I'm just saying, like, it was a synchronous relationship. They both, one hand washed the other, and they both helped each other out. That's all.
He started from the bottom. Now he's here.
Without a doubt, he'd still be here. But I'm saying maybe we wouldn't see him on TV as much. Maybe we wouldn't have that annoying, my advocate, Brock Lesnar. We wouldn't have that to hate or love. Like, it wouldn't be here without each other. So, shout outs to both of them. I don't really hate Brock.
But going back to our match, this was like I said, this was a sloppy match.
You're right. Triple H was pretty dominating in the match. Few roll-ups to signify the turning tides. The scissor kick versus the knee to face.
When he hits? How about the ending when he pedigrees him? The fucking laid on the ground for 30 seconds.
Yo, there was
what the fuck?
There was Triple H pedigree for the win. You're right. Scissor kick versus the knee to face, though. I always loved Booker's scissor kick, and I always loved Triple H's knee to face. We used to play video games back in the day, I always gave those two moves to my guys.
Triple H's knee, go boom.
I always did the CD thing, or either Triple H the running knee where he kicks you with the knee, or the one where he runs up and then he face busters you on his knee with the jumping. Those were two of my favorite signatures of all time.
Face buster, spine buster,
spine buster. I always gave my guy the Leviathan spine buster, though, the one Batista did, where he like lifted you up by your chest and fucking slammed you in the ground.
Yeah,
that was my favorite spine buster. I don't think anybody had a better spine buster than Batista, especially when he came down on his knees. He just bounced right back up, bro. But it looked like the driving force. Like, I don't know if it was just because it was Batista doing it. Like, the animal was fucking a specimen in his day, bro. Like, he still is, but I mean, primetime Batista, bro, like, fucking coming out of OVW when he was Leviathan with the contacts, the gauges or whatever, the big hoop earrings. Whatever.
Deacon Batista.
That was what
Deacon Batista.
Deacon Batista. That was
Deacon Batista. That was when he came straight out of OVW and worked with Reverend Devon. Testify.
Yo, speaking of, bro, I thought I put that on here somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, it might have been an earlier segment. Yeah, it was an earlier segment that they showed like earlier in the pay-per-view about the Dudley Boys coming in and helping somebody out. I forget, but it's on one of the other sheets. Anyway, yeah, Triple H, yo, he had the Indian Deathlock though in this one. That's what I wanted to get back to. It was like a modified figure 4, the Indian Deathlock. I never even heard it or seen it.
Never heard of it.
It was a submission move that he did, bro. It looked just like the figure 4, but he kept. That's when Triple H also got up and he used to do like the little clapping thing and fall back where he had like your legs messed up.
Triple H could never do the figure 4 because he's got fucked up knees.
No, but he did, dude. He did the Indian Deathlock in this match. I never saw it before. They were like, "Oh my god, it's the Indian Deathlock! It's the Indian." I'm like, "What the fuck is the Indian Deathlock?" But it was like a modified figure 4.
Never heard of it.
It was like Hell's Gate, like how Taker does like Hell's Gate modified. It was kind of like that. And then he's on his stomach like this, though, and Booker T's screaming in pain. And I'm like, it kind of looks just like a figure 4. And usually when you're that way, the person applying the move is the one in pain. So I'm like, maybe it was a figure 4, but they just gave it a different name because it looked the same. I don't know. I wish I would have learned how to do that move to RJ and the boys back on the block in a day, though. It looked fucked up. Like he had like this. He was like pushing his knee this way or his leg that way. I don't know. I'm going to send you the video. I would put it in here, bro, but they wound up kicking off our Paul Heyman tribute to New Jack. They made me cut the segment out. YouTube said your video is blocked unless you cut this segment. I had to cut. They said you could do it in video editor. I had to cut it out. I tried to speed it up. I was like, just paying homage to a dead guy. I mean, come on, why would you cut it out like a sermon? It's like being at the guy's funeral. WWE
copyrighted because it's copyrighted.
But it don't matter, bro. It's a guy who died and we're honoring his life. I don't know. That's just me.
WWE doesn't even own any rights to any of his names.
So whatever. But yeah, like you said, pedigree for the win. Boom, boom, boom. Triple H won. It was kind of obvious who was going to win that match anyway.
Like I said, you're not fit to be champion.
We all know who the boss's favorite was.
Look at my nose. It gets bigger with more steroids.
We all know who the boss's favorite was. Speaking of favorites, that brings us to match number 7. Hogan versus McMahon.
In a street fight, 20 years in the making.
Yeah, so they say, right? But there was a lot of speculation around it. But you're right. Yep, street fight. So 20 years in the making, 1983 to 2003. 93 is when they said Vince said Hogan left the WCW.
WWE, I went to WCW. Yes, this is the first time that
Hogan... I thought it was like 95 or 95, 96. I think he was like in Hollywood for like a year or two doing those Mr. Nanny movies and shit.
No,
Commando.
That was the early 90s. That was 1990, 91. Came back in 92, left in 93, was in WCW, and then in 95... turned to be the New World Order because Hulkamania wasn't running wild from 94 to 95, brother.
Hulkamania wasn't running wild anymore, brother. I got married.
Look, Jack, I had to sit there and I had to take the red and yellow down, dude. Listen, I had to put on the black and white, brother.
I was in the process of making Brookie, man. I needed money. Nick was on his way.
I was sleeping with I was sleeping with Miss Elizabeth, and she was getting the 26-inch pythons every single night when Randy Savage was sitting down by the bar.
Remember, she was getting that 12-inch Hulk Hogan dickin', brother. Not the 6-inch Terry Hogan, but the Hulk Hogan, brother.
Miss Elizabeth got the same thing that Bubba the Love Sponge's wife gets every night,
oh, man,
brother.
Yo, that's fucked up. God bless Miss Elizabeth, bro. Sorry for that shit. We're going to hell, but hey, man, it's all in good love. It's all part of the industry, bro. Part of the industry.
It's entertainment.
I hope people still joke around when I'm dead, and then talk about you, but joke around about you still. Like, keep your spirit alive. I'm not one easily offended, but it was a dope vignette. You walked out on me, Hogan, to WCW. Hogan testified against Vince, and he forgave him. I said
steroids.
He forgave that money train. Yeah, of course he was going to forgive that money train. But I haven't seen Vinnie Mac train this hard since he was drinking raw eggs to verse Mr. 316 Austin himself. When Shane was like, "Come on, Dad, drink it down."
Vince was a lot bigger in this than he was when he fought Stone Cold.
I know, but I'm saying I haven't seen him train this hard in general. Yeah, he definitely had a lot more roids in his ass, but I'm saying I haven't seen him train this hard since fucking since he had to fight Stone Cold.
Hey, Sean, I got 30 cc's. I need you to put it up my ass.
I mean, the only thing I had with this, bro.
Do it or you're fired.
I had a quarrel because there was a live guitarist playing Hulkster's theme, and I don't know if it was like Limp Bizkit's guy that was there at the time, because there might not have been another guitarist in the building, but it sounded nothing like any of his previous entrances. Didn't sound like real American.
It was supposed to be he was still coming out to Jimi Hendrix theme that he did in WCW, but since WWE didn't want to pay Jimi Hendrix's family the money to get the song like Turner did,
they should have
Jim Johnson did his own version.
It was horrible. Standing next to a mountain, chop it down with the edge of my hand. That would have been such a better fucking theme song, bro.
Exactly. Just pay the $500,000 to use the song. You guys could end up copywriting it and putting it in your own library.
I mean, you guys made that on T-shirt sales,
like you did with all the Motorhead songs. Fucking assholes.
Yeah, different times. I mean,
time to play the game.
This is a grudge match.
Bow down to the king. Give me a break.
Or they did it for Evolution too. I see the lion in the sand.
Yeah. Evolution.
But I mean, this is a grudge match to say the least. McMahon always plays such a good stooge. Always has, always will. They're both
McMahon plays a great heel, no matter what.
They're both busted open pretty early on. I mean, I don't know, bro.
This was right. I have to throw this in. I have to throw this in because this is so. If I don't throw this in, I will lose capability as a wrestling fan, and people will sit there and go, he didn't say it. He's Mr. Know-It-All. 3 weeks before this match happened, Vince McMahon signed Hulk Hogan's name in Hulk Hogan's blood on the contract.
Yeah, that was dope. He was stabbing him with the pen.
Before this happened, Hulk Hogan had a big promo mix-up. Hogan sat there and said, I was the right gay guy at the right time. And he drew back what he said, and he said, I was the right man for the gay guy. And then he had to redo it again a third time. He kept calling himself gay.
He was like, those promo porno
so I have to throw that in there. It's not being, I'm not trying to make fun or anything.
Vince was in there rubbing up on Hulkamania like, oil these guns up, Hogan. Hogan's like, you like that, Vince? I'm going to make you my top guy.
Look, Vince, if you want to get down there, brother, you're going to have to sit there and you're going to have to give me the roids first, dude.
Listen, Vince, if I'm going to join the Mr. McMahon Kiss My Ass Club, you're going to join the Suck the Hulkamaniac Python Club, brother. Pucker up.
So, Hogan wasn't the right gay guy for the right time, apparently.
Hey, man.
I'd lose credibility if I didn't say it.
Whatever floats your boat, bro. It's Pride Month. Salute to the prides, whatever you are, LGBTQ plus, whatever. So maybe
it's
Hogan,
LGBTQAAIP plus STID, whatever the fuck else I can say. I don't know what else.
Whatever floats your boat. Maybe Hogan wanted to take the yacht out that weekend. Hey, boss, what's good? Hulkamania, brother. But Piper's
I'm the right
here.
Gay guy for the right time.
Piper's here. Hot Rod in the building. Kicking McMahon in his ass. McMahon's trying to get up. Kicks him in his ass again. And then he picks up the pipe.
Hogan with a fucking steel pipe.
Hits Hogan with a pipe. Double snot rockets, bro. Chris Benoit style, bro. Double snot rockets. Walks out. You think it's going to be over? Not quite. Vince is beating up Brian Hebner. I don't know. Is that Earl's fucking son or brother? Brian Hebner?
Brother.
The
twins.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
Earl and Brian.
Didn't
the
even know
Hebner brothers.
But anyway, it's not a WrestleMania without Hogan.
They were the first people to use twin magic.
Switcheroo.
In 1989.
We discussed 1989. This was like second, third episode. We talked about that when we were discussing the Bella twins and shit and the other twins. But
everything comes full circle.
I don't think they even look alike, bro. I recognize Earl Hebner. I saw this guy and I'm like,
back then, you could not tell the difference. As they got older, you can tell exactly who was who.
Earl aged different, you know. I think
Earl is now a AEW referee.
Is he?
And he looks the same than when he looks the same when he was in WWE.
I haven't even noticed, bro. It's been a while since I really
Earl
tuned into
Hebner
any
is in
wrestling
AEW.
lately. I've been kind of so caught up in life these past 2 months. I haven't really tuned in.
Mike Chioda. Mike Chioda was the bless you. Mike Chioda was the second longest referee next to Earl Hebner. Mike Chioda, I think, is in AEW also.
Yeah, Mike Chioda, I remember him too. He was also a longtime WWE referee. SmackDown referee. But
like Scotty Armstrong. Scotty Armstrong was a WCW referee, and he's still in WWE to this day. Reffing on SmackDown.
Who he is?
Scotty Armstrong. Yeah, he's the blonde hair referee guy for SmackDown.
What the hell was that other blonde guy name that played Rick Nature Boy Jr.? Blonde hair.
Scotty Armstrong. That was WCW.
No, there's another guy, WCW guy that played
Scotty Armstrong used to be in WCW. He played Nature Boy Jr.
That's his name.
During WCW before he was the referee. Yes. Yes, it was Scotty Armstrong. David Flair, his actual son, did wrestle in WCW because he had the storyline with Stacy Keibler.
And the storyline with that's probably around the same time as David.
Scotty Armstrong looked exactly like Ric Flair, just really skinny.
Yeah.
Back then. He looked like Ric Flair, but he was skinny.
Around the era of like David Arquette and like Ready to Rumble and time.
Before that. That was 98, 99.
I remember
Vince Russo was writing for the company then.
I remember seeing the Horsemen
that's 99.
in the ring, and I took a picture of Brooke Hogan. I took a picture of fucking Charlotte Flair with the Four Horsemen in the ring, and I'm like, holy shit, she was so young there. Just standing in the ring with the Four Horsemen. I was like, damn, bro. Like teenager young, bro. Not even... But
yes, Scotty Armstrong. Armstrong.
You know this is not a WrestleMania without hulking up and running wild. Sylvain Grenier comes out. That's where he was going in Vince's office to try to screw Hogan or whatever.
The referee,
Hogan sends him like this, does the Babe Ruth like he's gone, chucks him out, hits McMahon with a leg drop, hits him with another leg drop, hits him with a third leg drop. He just wanted to leg drop the shit out of Vince McMahon. And
he just wants to break his fucking hips, doesn't he?
And then, Hogan obviously walked away with the W. Vince, they wouldn't have made him sign a fresh new contract to be like, well, it's going to be his last match. Like,
of course Hogan's going to get the win. That's like putting Hulk Hogan versus Dusty Rhodes. Well, let me tell you something, baby. The American dream ain't going to be laying down and doing no job for no Hulkamaniac. I'll tell you what, brother.
Yeah, man.
Well, let me tell you something, dude. You're going to have to take the 1, 2, 3, Jack, because I'm not going to sit there and take a pinfall from a fat ass like you, brother. Well, then let me tell you something there, baby. We'll just have managers in the match, and they can just cause a DQ, and then that's how we can do it, and then we both save steam, baby. I like that idea, dude. Let's do it, Jack.
Fucking... All right, so hold up.
Hogan will never take the W unless if it's for somebody that he'll say yes to. And the only person I've ever seen him take the W for was for 2 people.
Who?
Ultimate Warrior and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Hold on. I do need to run and get my portable phone charger because I'm set up in a position where I do not have an extension cord without turning my camera the other way. So hold up.
That works because I got to get iced tea. Baby.
Yes, sir. We here. We are back, folks. We are back live. After the tune-in segment, did you hit him with a fucking commercial? He hit him with the be right back soon also. Johnny Bravo. Do the monkey.
Oh, shit.
Get a nice cold one. I forgot to tell people to check out our sponsors in the description below. We have Dr. Squatch Soap. Make your bowls smell clean before you go to your girlfriend's house next time. Know what I'm saying? We have PodDecks. If you want to start a podcast, they're just simple questions just to get your feet off the ground. And can't forget, Cut Buddy, help you line up your beard like me. Self-lining up your beard without having a fucking barber do it for $45. You could do this shit at home with the Cut Buddy in the link below. All our sponsors, you could even just buy us a coffee. Support the show. T-shirts on the way soon. And we are back. Little segue here into the one of my favorite matches. We are going to start off with Austin and The Rock 3. What do you say? One of the greatest matches of all time, or what?
Last match.
7-time WWE champ, a leading man in Hollywood, JR called him. If it's my opinion, the leader in Hollywood today's day and age, The Rock. This is probably my favorite rivalry, as I said earlier. My favorite vignette of all time. Two of the best, by far two of my favorites. I don't know if it's just biased because Limp Bizkit was playing during the vignette. I don't know. It was pretty badass. Like, it had like the crack addict.
They were really pushing Limp Bizkit, even though that it was past his time.
But, I mean, this is The Rock, his calm Hollywood theme. I hated that shit. The is cooking. It
was the trailblazing thing. I love the trailblazing thing.
Hated it. Hated that theme. Too calm for the most electrifying man in all sports entertainment. Too calm. Too calm. Austin with his classic theme, No More Disturbed, No More Step Up, which I think when we talked about Invasion on one of our first episodes or second episode.
I didn't like the Disturbed theme.
I
didn't like it.
Step up into the next.
Everybody, there's a lot of people that love that song for him. It's like, that's not who Stone Cold is. Glass Shatters by fucking Jim Johnson is the song.
Yeah, you're right. That is true.
Glass Shatters by Jim Johnson is actually a ripoff of Bulls on Parade.
Wait, Glass Shatters is a ripoff of what? Bulls on Parade.
Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine.
All right, I gotta listen to
Stone Cold admitted it on his podcast. He said, you know, when I needed to go down for a theme song, Vince told me to go down to Jim Johnson. I gave him a CD of Rage Against the Machine. He pretty much came up with he pretty much ripped off Bulls on Parade.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Never heard it, but I definitely want to hear it now. But yeah, he had his classic music. This is another huge grudge match. Both men gave their souls in this match, and I think given the circumstances, Austin beating Rock twice, Austin knowing it's his last match, whether he was limited or not to what he was actually able to do is a whole nother factor in itself. So
100%.
It could have been even more explosive, but if this was his last match and he needed to kind of take the bow out and, as we say, pass the torch, for The Rock to become the top guy, this was a way to do it. Even though Rock was probably going back to Hollywood anyway. We didn't know at the time. We were kids. We were like, we hope he stays, but he might be gone. The Scorpion King is leaving again. But yeah, it was funny. I thought this was the match where The Rock was took the camera and like turned around and Stone Cold stunned him. Where The Rock was like with the camera.
The Rock had the camera. The Rock stole Stone Cold's vest and everything.
That was this match? That was this match where The Rock took the camera?
Yes.
What?
This was the match where he took the camera, walked around, hit him with it, and then after that went over to the fucking announcer table, put on his vest, started strutting around like fucking Jeff Jarrett and Ric Flair and everything in the jacket. Yeah, that was this match.
All right. Yeah, I know he threw his vest on.
What's up?
It was great.
I'm doing a podcast. Doing my podcast. All right.
But yeah, he threw the vest on. He had a quick bath. And I say bath because instead of a beer bash, however, a bath is just water. He had the water.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't say water bath, but
it's the people's water.
Lou Thez Press, one of my favorite video game signatures to this day. I always loved that, where Austin Irish whip him on the ropes and then jump up on him.
Luthez press, yeah.
Always one of my favorite. And stomping mud holes and walking them dry. Another one that's turnbuckle. He'd go. I mean, Austin hits a rock bottom. A payback from the stunner that the Rock hit on him. Counter stunner, spin around, Rock hits the stunner. WrestleMania the movie, we hear it again. Yet to see it. Come on, King. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood 2 years later, once again. There's a lots of back and forth in this match.
WrestleMania 19 available for home DVD release.
I mean,
by the summertime. Get your copy today for only $49.99.
I remember buying fucking DVDs with wrestling, bro. Wrestling DVDs.
Yeah, they were a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I never really bought them. I always borrowed yours or somebody that had them. Like, yo,
I had a lot.
But we got to witness the most electrifying miss in Austin's vest ever. He went to go do it, messed it up. Then finally he took the vest off. Retake, as we call it in Hollywood, for the people's elbow. Rock bottom, still kicks out. Rock bottom, the sequel to Rock Bottom 3, the sequel to the sequel. And 1, 2, 3. It was electric.
Took 3 rock bottoms to put out Stone Cold.
I don't know if it was just the phone or the re-editing of the audio. It was electric, I say, but it wasn't so electric that you could hear the audience go crazy, because I think they wanted Austin to win, but I could sense the electricity.
Of course they wanted Austin to win.
In my mind. And then, you know, it was like a huge, like, he leaned over Austin like it was a huge thank you, you know, and then like bow out. You could see the emotion in The Rock's face. Like The Rock was walking around the ring and he kept doing like a lot of this. Like he was moving his hands a lot, walking around. He went into the crowd, kisses to his family. And then as he's walking up the ramp again, he's going like this. Like, we know you're not wiping the sweat, bro. You're wiping the tears because you're happy that you finally accomplished this feat in your career at WrestleMania, where it all began for you. It's a big moment, bro. And then he's walking up the ramp. Austin comes out. And you can see the pain in Austin's eyes too, bro. Austin was like, looked left, like, you know, like kind of like, it's the end of my run, man. This is it. Hell yeah. Go to the top of the ramp. Give them one more of these, bro. WrestleMania. But you're bowing out.
And it just so happens the next night ended up being Rock Appreciation Night. And then Goldberg.
I mean, wait, that was the next night?
Goldberg
when he came back with
was
the biker vest on.
Night.
Hey, Rock, you're next.
Goldberg was the next night on
man.
Rock Appreciation Night.
But yeah, I mean, they definitely hit Austin's theme, and it was emotional for everyone there. I wish we got one more beer bash. Well, we got plenty more beer bashes, just not of Austin after a match. He came back, he was sheriff, he's been there. We always got Austin drinking beer fucking on his days off even, you know, but.
And now it is time for the main event of the evening.
Who do we got, kid?
In this corner, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is the only Olympic gold medalist in WWE history. He is the WWE champion,
Brock Lesnar. I'm just fucking.
What are you talking about?
I had to throw it in there.
Kurt Angle comes out first.
I know. I had to throw it in there, though, bro.
Kurt Angle comes out first.
I had to throw it in there. We're talking about Paulie Dangerous. I had to dangerously live. No, you're right.
I'm trying. I was trying to. I was trying to channel my inner fucking Tony Schiavone.
I know, and I was flipping the script on you.
Tony Schimmel. I'm trying to get my Tony Schimmel. Kurt Angle.
This is a WWE Championship match versus the Challenger.
And as Michael Cole says, and you heard the new weight of 235 pounds, Kurt Angle lost 7 pounds of intense training for this match.
Did he?
Yes. Lost 7 pounds in order to wrestle fucking Brock Lesnar.
I mean, this is when I liked Brock Lesnar, though. This is like pre-MMA.
Lesnar was on fire right now. Lesnar was on fire.
Pre-whatever. Like, he was just Brock Lesnar, bro. This is like...
Lesnar was on fire at this point.
So this is his first
Lesnar was already... Yes, but Lesnar was already WWE champion before this.
Yeah.
This is in 03. At SummerSlam '02, here at Madison Square Garden, here at Nassau Coliseum on Long Island,
I remember I wanted to go so
he
bad.
faced The Rock for the WWE title, and he beat The Rock at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
For the WWE Championship.
I mean, this is PS2 Here Comes the Pain era Brock Lesnar.
Yes, 100%. Like, this is everybody's favorite Lesnar.
Yeah, this was my favorite Lesnar. This was like when I used to do the video games and beat Brock Lesnar and fuck everybody up. Just F5, F5, F5.
I like Brock's aura now.
You like his what?
I like his aura now. I like the way they present him. He is that dangerous fighter. He is that wrestler that, you know, you should really only put with certain people that can really actually go with it. Because, yes, he knows how to throw the punches and everything, but you got to be careful. You know, he's a legit fighter. He could legitimately hurt you.
And they're both wrestlers, dude. They're both, like, professional wrestlers. Kurt being the Olympic gold medalist and Brock being a collegiate All-American, right?
With a broken freaking neck at the 1996 Olympics in fucking Georgia, USA.
What was that? Do. I don't suck. I don't. On the WWE original suck. He said, won the Olympic gold medals with a broken freaking neck. When he was rapping, or wasn't it when him and Austin, when they were going back, Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care, Jimmy Crack.
Yeah.
He was like trying to be Austin's buddy with his little cowboy hat. I remember when Kurt Angle came out, he's like, Taker, you're riding that motorcycle. I got something for you. And he brought out the little scooter. He's like, get the fuck out. He was an entertainer, Kurt. I love Kurt. I cannot
Kurt
deny
was great. Kurt was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Hated him growing up, but it was like you hated him so much you had to love him. You know, like you loved to hate the guy. That was the whole thing. He was entertainment at its finest. Because you're an Olympic gold medalist, but you also have so much charisma and character and oomph in you that the WWE pushed your boundaries and opened up a whole nother element to the world to see. And I agree with you, bro. This is quite possibly the greatest WrestleMania ever, especially this match. I mean,
this main event was insane.
The announcers are so raspy and energetic here, and it makes sense because you said Michael Cole had a cold earlier on. But yeah, I mean, the announcers are so raspy and energetic here, man. I don't really know what to say. F5 kick out, playing possum, second ankle lock, rope break, reverses for days, F5 number 2. They used to fly with the F5, like I said earlier, bro. Brock's getting old. Dude, they used to be like...
This was a 20-minute match.
It was like fucking F5, bro. Like, and fucking helicopter spin. That shit was like a fucking F5 tornado. It was like... Whoosh, that motherfucker was like... Boom, 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 spinning before he hit. Now it's just like... He almost falls on him.
Fucking Lesnar was really giving it to him. Like, you know, like, no joke.
I think it was also a matter of, like, people knew how to take it more. Like, there's definitely more caution used now. So it's like, okay, we're going to do this because it's safer. It's safer now. But back in the day, it was like, oh, I'm going to fuck your kneecaps up. Spin you that way. Or what he did with Zach Gowen or whatever his name was with the fucking F5 into the
one-legged wrestler.
Leg kid. I wonder whatever happened to that guy, bro. He was kind of entertaining.
The one-legged wrestler.
Yeah, bro, I give it to him, bro, just to get out there and do that shit, though. That shit ain't easy.
Match went 20 minutes. Like you said, a lot of back and forth, a lot of specials, now, finishers, whatever you want to call them.
I already sensed it. This is where Brock breaks his neck, though, or something. I already sensed it.
He
went up for the shooting star.
Brock used to do the shooting star press in OVW. There is actual video footage of him doing it and landing it perfectly.
But he looked hesitant. He looked hesitant at this point. Like he looked up at it.
Shot.
Yeah, but I'm saying he looked up at the rope. Like, am I about to do this? Like, it was like, it looked hesitant in his eyes. I took note that he looked hesitant. And I said, like, kind of like creative forced him to do it. Like, well, you've done it before. Go out and do it. You know, and he's like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I've done it before. I could do it. Didn't get it all the way. Hit really hard, bro. I could see he's hurt.
He almost broke his neck.
What did he do exactly? He didn't break his neck?
He landed on 2 vertebrae on his neck. He had to
I remember him coming
with like some type of surgery
with the neck
shit on his
for
neck
a while and shit. But I don't know. He's hurt. But I mean, F5, 290 pounds. Brock first. I want to mention that.
Yeah, the weight of his height.
And the momentum, the speed, and the momentum, and the force. Like, just boom. I don't care if that's plywood, cotton, dog. When I was fucking 3rd or 4th grade, I was hanging upside down from the jungle gym. like this. And you remember how kids used to like hook their feet so they didn't fall? They could swing, like when you hook your feet on the other bar. Or you could just hang there with just your legs like this over the one bar. I had my feet hooked and I was swinging and I unhooked them and I was swinging like this, bro. And right from the middle of the jungle gym, about 2 feet, whatever it is, like if I'm here and there's 2 feet, 2.5 feet to the ground, my legs went whoop and I fell right on my fucking head, flat into the sand, and the sand was soft. And I got sand in my eyes, and that shit hurt.
Oh, talking about this match is making my neck hurt. Oh, my God.
And that shit hurt, bro. And I was only like maybe 60 pounds, whatever grade I was in. I was a kid, and that hurt. I can't imagine doing a backflip. When me, Eric, and Anthony used to backyard wrestle, there was a stump underneath the trampoline, bro. And anytime you did like a rock bottom or a front flip or a stone cold stunner, bro, sometimes your tailbone would hit that. Their mom and dad used to put the lawnmower under there sometimes, and if we didn't move the lawnmower out, you hit that lawnmower on the fucking trampoline, bro, that shit hurt too. But yeah, I mean, F5 number 3 for the win. They hug in respect. That was a great match. Two great athlete performances. I think they needed to end it fast. My
favorite main event of all time.
I think they needed to end it fast after that Brock, that neck falling on that neck.
Fuck it up.
For sure. And yeah, favorite recap, of WrestleMania with my favorite band, Limp Bizkit. And it's dope because it goes into tell it to your face right now, when Hogan and Vince have the stare down. Not really sure that, like the bridge. Not really sure I know how. Give you peace of my mind. I'm a crack addict. That's right. I'm a crack addict. You heard me. I'm a crack addict. I'm addicted to cracking skulls. And then it goes into the Austin and Rock and then Angle and fucking Brock Lesnar for that last build.
I know.
Fucking insane, bro. And that's the pay-per-view, folks. That is Wrestlemania 19, the greatest WrestleMania probably to ever live, unless something along comes better in the future. We shall see. But what else you got, kid? We've been going 2 hours, man. We're coming up on 156, bro. Pretty good show.
I know.
Got a lot of news in there, a lot of other shit.
I'm going to say stay tuned for the next episode. It's going to be a surprise because I really don't know what to cover next. I'm strung against a couple of good pay-per-views.
You know what I want to cover, bro? Which I really do want to cover? And I brought his name up. David Arquette. That documentary of his. Wrestling with David Arquette or whatever it's called. He has a documentary. And I want to do it because he's been looked at as such a joke. And I watched it, and I will watch it again. I watched it, and it gave me a whole new respect for a guy, bro. Like, everybody laughs, like, okay, Hollywood actor, whatever. Bro, The Rock went to fucking Hollywood after being a wrestler. So I want to get into it, and I want to just fucking...
We could cover it.
Pay the man his homage, But with that, we are off. We are out of here. Signing off. Our time is now, baby. Episode, what'd I say? 24. Wrestling with Time number 8.
Number 8.
4 horsemen, baby. Salute. Holla at you, kid. Peace.